It's like we're trying so. Good evening, everyone. Namo Buddhaya. Um, Today, I would like first we start with meditation session. So, I would like to invite Venerable Dhammanusari to guide us the meditation session. So, Venerable Dhammanusari, please guide us.
Good evening, everyone. So, for the beginning of the meditations, I would like to invite you to pay homage to the Buddha by just doing the same time as I chanting. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata sabba buddhanupavena sada soti bhavantu me. Bhavatu sabba mangalang rakhantu sabba devata sabba dhammanupavena sada soti bhavantu te me. So, hi everyone. Today, we should start to meditation by invite your mind come to your body as usual. You usually doing the meditation all day long. Our body tired of the working. So you should thinking that to bring your body sit straight and your posture straight. Get your head straight. Remember your face, always smile. This is bring your attention. Sit in the comfortable posture. If you cannot sit cross-legged, you may just sit on the chair. Take a long deep breath in. Breathe it out. Breathe it out. Close your eye. If you hear any sound around you, it's just a sound. As sometimes when you sit, your mind goes somewhere. Just tell your mind, come in, sit with me. Relax your shoulder. Breathe it again. Scan to your hands, your back straight. If some of you have a breath a little tight, just let it go. Do not force the breathing, just being normal, kind to your body. After you think that your mind is come along with you, focus on your nose, the air that goes through your nose. You will feeling the nose that you breathe in. Neither it's hot or cold or wet. You think the glasses bother you? Can just take it off. When you're kind enough for your body and mind, your breath seems to be stable, not tight, not too fast. You continue, enjoy your meditation. Suppose if you sit cross-legged and bother you, you just can stand up. If you're mindful, slowly stand up. Take a little step walking. But if you do find in a cross-legged sit, continue. kindly to your face by relax the chin, smile. That make you breathe more easily. Hi,
Thank you so much, Ayya, for guiding us to the meditation.
my pleasure.
Namo Buddhaya, everyone. Uh, today, today's my topic is Vassa, a season of blessings and practice. So, before we start, I would like to pay homage to the Buddha. Uh, Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang dhammang sanghang namasami. My respects to all the senior bhikkhunis and my fellow bhikkhunis. Much metta to all the lay people are here. So, like everyone knows, this is Vassa season now. We call it a rainy season. So, in Asia, especially in India, now we have a rainy season, the 3 months season. So I'll just talk briefly about the, the Vassa, and then I'll go into details like what Buddha said in his lifetime, in Buddha's lifetime, in the history, what it was. So why, when I say the season of blessing and practice, so why I say that, because if you go in India, especially if you go in Asia, so when people hear, okay, we are entering into Vasa, they're really, really happy because they know, okay, for these 3 months, they will see the monastics, the bhikkhu and the bhikkhuni, and they know that for these 3 months, our bhikkhu and bhikkhuni will be around us, and we will see them every day. We will hear teachings from them, and we will practice with them. And not only practice, but like we all know in Buddhist culture, when you offer something to a monastic, it's a much merit. So it's like a blessings. So I don't know if any of you have knowledge about the Vassa, why it's important and not. So um, in India, it's like when the Vassa season starts, all the lay, especially the women's, they love to go to monasteries, especially because they know the bhikkhu or bhikkhunis are in the vihara, and they will see them. Otherwise, after Vasa, even if they don't go, it doesn't matter. But in the Vasa, they feel like, oh, we must go, because in this 3 months of period, we read one book. Like sometimes we read Dhammapada or any other books, like uh, especially in India, I think people like Buddha and his Dhamma. It's written by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So in India, this is like Vasa time, most of people love to read uh, that book, Buddha and his Dhamma. So in that book, it have described who is Buddha, what is Dhamma, and what is the Sangha. So people really prefer that book in India. So now I would like to go in Buddha's time, and let's see how why this tradition started. So for like 2,600 years back, during the Buddha's lifetime, the monks and bhikkhunis, like the Bhante and bhikkhunis, like wandered from place to place through the year. That was the tradition at that time, that going from village to village and teaching the Dhamma and collecting alms and living simply at that time. And but during the rainy season, something happened that people started to criticize the monastic, because in the rainy season time, the field was full with growing rice, little insects, and frogs were everywhere, and the paths were muddy, slippery, and because we walk on that path, because the monastic walk on that path, so the lay people start to complaining about that thing. So they start to say, okay, this aesthetics are trampling on our crops, harming teeny creatures, and making travel difficult during the heavy rains. So when Buddha heard these things, he didn't say anything, or that he didn't say like that, oh well, let's ignore them or something else. No, he listened carefully, and with compassion he listened, and he realized that wandering in the rainy season is not only inconvenient, but also uh, going against our principle towards ahimsa, non-harming. So that's why Buddha made this tradition, this rule, that during the rainy season, the bhikkhu and bhikkhuni should stay in one place for 3 months, because the seasons in India is for 3 months. Like rainy season is for 3 months, summer is for 3 months, and winter is also 3 months. So it's the rainy season also for 3 months. So it starts from full moon of July to the full moon of the October. So um, so that Buddha have made this rule that you should stay for 3 months at the one place. And focus on deeply practice. So that was the first Vassa. Uh, so if we see that Vassa tradition is not stubborn, born from the stubborn tradition, but it's come from the compassion for life and considering for community, because we have the precepts that we have to follow, and we have to see like how we can keep that precepts. So like I said, why this period is special, why not for like a 6 month or like for a year? Why, if people have question, like if you say this Vasa only for three months, why not like 4 months, why not 5 months, why not 6 months, right? So like I explained, the rainy season is in India is only for 3 months, not like 4 months. Or so so in India, in these 3 months, the season is India is like long enough to crops to grow, and rivers to swell, and nature to be alive with life. Staying in one place also allow the bhikkhu and bhikkhuni, the monastic, to meditate without um, the constant changing environment, and study and memorize the Dhamma, and especially because we stay with the community, so it strengthens the community and the bond. So for the lay people, it becomes really spiritual season, because they know that our monastics, our bhikkhu and bhikkhunis are here for 3 months, and they know that they have to support them, and they have to learn from them, and they have to practice together with them, because like mentioned before, we mentioned like other in others time, the monastic wanders here and there. Of course we do, because this is like Buddha said, charita bhikkhave charikang bahujan hitaya bahujan sikhaya. So like we have to wonder for the benefits of the all living beings, for all the human beings here. We have to preach the Dhamma for everyone. So after the Vasa, we just wander here and there. So in the Mangala Sutta, Buddha have mentioned the very specific words, like it's from Sutta Nipada 2.4. Um, Buddha have listed the highest blessings in life, and it's like I will read in the Pali. Asevanacha balanang panditanang cha sevana puja cha pujaniyanang etang mangalamottamang. So here the translation: not associating with the foolish, associating with the wise, and honoring those worthy of honor. This is the highest blessings. So uh, the Vassa is the exactly that is action. For 3 months, the monastic lives surrounded by the wise companion, and we keep close the Dhamma and far from worldly distraction, because we are focusing on learning and practicing, because the community we are together, and we know that everyone has some speciality, and we try to exchange that speciality with each other. Like someone is good at preaching the Dhamma, someone is good at the practicing meditation, someone is good good to guide people, like explaining the suttas, so everyone have their own speciality, so we try to learn that from each other. And because of the rainy season, when the monastic stay at one place, the lay people also have more connection and contact with the Sangha, and more opportunity to learn, uh, and ask questions and receive the guidance from them. So when you think about the Vassa, it's like planting a tree during the Vassa. The soil is rich, the rains are steady, and the roots can grow strong, both for the bhikkhus, for the monastic, and the lay people are planting the seeds of blessing in their lifetime, because it's beneficial for them, for both of them. So in the Dhammika Sutta, the Buddha advice for both, for the monastic and for the lay people. Uh, and in the Dhammika Sutta, it gives a really beautiful balance. The Buddha speaks first for the bhikkhus, for the monastic, like let them be restrained in their sense, mindful and well disciplined. During Vassa, this becomes our focus, no traveling, fewer distraction, just a steady rhythm of meditation, chanting, study, and service. It's like putting a lamp in a windless place. The flame burns steadily, and then Buddha give guidance to the lay people. Buddha says, let them be generous, live rightfully, support their parents, care for their family, and purify their livelihood. During Vasa, lay people often take special precepts, offer daily alms, and join chanting and make extra efforts to keep wholesome conduct. Um, and sometimes in India, it's like lay people, they especially take like 8 precepts through whole the Vasa. But some people have this kind of idea that the Vasa is especially only for the bhikkhus. But if you see the Vasa is not just for the monastic, it's for the both of uh, monastic and for the lay people. It's like a partnership between the monastic and lay people. So for the monastic, uh, we say, okay, we promise, like we practice sincerely and we will share the Dhamma. And for the lay people, they say, okay, we will support you with the food and shelter and care, like everything. So when we see this, I remember, so this year our Katina sponsor is like Dinesha, Bodhini, and Shamal. So I just remember some words of Bodhini when someone asked, like, when you're supporting them, what why would encourage you to support them? So she said, like, she sees the sincerity in the bhikkhunis, that they want to do it, they're practicing very sincerely, and they have that potential. That's why it gives us uh, the faith to support them. So when I heard those words, I was like, okay. And I also heard like someone, not someone, like, and most of the lay people, they only wants from the monastic the sincerity in the practice, in the Dhamma, in the proper guidance. And if the lay people see that quality in the monastic, definitely they want to support, because the respect come from the heart. So like that, the monastic and lay people together, the whole community grows in the merit. uh, um, so how this wasam makes a meaningful for the monastic people. So in this Vasa time, because we are staying at one place, it gives us time to focus on our practice. So mostly we do meditation most of the time whenever we, because after the Vasa we have to wander here and there, because people invite us to give teachings. So it's like we have to go, and we have to give our time to teach people, to guide them. So it's like in the Vasa time, we are staying at one place for 3 months, so we can focus on our meditation. And mostly all the monastic like to meditation, practice meditation as much as they can. And secondly, we learn the Dhamma, Vinaya, uh, because it's really important to know our Vinaya and reflect on the Vinaya. It's like how we are practicing and how we are holding on to the Vinaya. And especially when we are staying with the community, uh, we have to strengthen our patience. Like, it's really important to have a patience, because all the sangha, it's coming from the different culture, different country, and all the people. all the bhikkhunis here this year is like coming from Asia, but different countries. So different countries have different tradition, and they have different value in the Dhamma. So it's like we have to listen to them. We have to be patient to understand, to learn what uh, they see, and try to be live in harmony. So living together means something like rubbing against each other like stone, polishing each other smooth. This is something what I feel like I explained. Everyone's culture is totally different, completely different, and according to me that is wrong, but according to that person it's correct, and according what I'm doing according to that person is wrong, and according to me it's right. So this is like really difficult to understand, and because you're learning, because you're in a community, you have to be really really patient to learn and understand each other. And so this is for the monastic, it's like our own difficulties to come over the difficulties in the Vassa time. Otherwise, after Vassa, we like wander alone or maybe with the lay people. But when we stay with the community, definitely we have to have the patience and humility to practice and have that strength. And for the lay people, I feel like this Vasa time is really important. They should visit the monastery more often, listen to the Dhamma talk. Uh, but and I feel most of people, what I feel, not here only, but in other places also, people feel like offering the material things. By offering the material things only, they can earn the merits. But I would like to say that all the lay people, I would say, it's not like offering material support is only you can earn the merit, but your presence and kindness is also a merit show if you do with your whole heart for the sangha. And for this special Vasa period, try to take more precept. Like if you're following 5 precepts, try to have 8 precepts in the four. In every month there's a 4 uposatha. It's like every full moon, every dark moon, and 2 quarter moon. So you can have 8 precepts in uh, that day. So it's like a once a week. You can have 4 uposatha in a month. So in India, the lay people keep 8 precepts the whole entire Vasa. So I feel like it's really really meaningful for them to practice. So in that 3 months of period, they only wear the white robe, completely fully white robe. They live as a simple life. They live like a homeless person, completely give up on everything material things outside of the world, and they try to live as a monastic, like how the monastic live their life, and try to understand that. And I think it's really really meaningful when you try to give up on materialistic things, and then you understand like how much we are attached to this things, the worldly material things. And it's not that we can't live without those things, it's just our mind that we have so much attached to that things. That's why we feel like, okay, I can't live without this thing, but you can if you try it. It's just your mind that saying no, please don't live with you. It's just your mind like want to hold on to it so tightly, and you feel no, this is like painful if I leave it. So so Vasa is just not like for the monastic, it's for the lay people also. And I feel really happy when I see people come to the monastery and they want to practice, they want to hear the Dhamma. And when they meet the monastic, one thing I observe, when the lay people, they sincerely want to practice, they just ask people, ask the monastic, like, what can make my practice better and how I can go further in this path, and how I can be liberated in this life. Because as we know, this world outside may be full of the storms, like political storms, economical storms, storms in our own families, but inside also. I feel during this Vassa, we create a calm shelter where wisdom can grow. Uh, I would like to say, like, think your heart like a small pond. If the water is always stirred by wind, it can't reflect clearly. Uh, but when the rain falls gently and the surface is still, you can see to the bottom. So I think Vasa is that stillness that everyone should have, and everyone should try to practice in this period of the Vasa. Uh, so it's like when we were talking about this Vasa season, it was like I was just saying, like, the Vasa is like 3 months of school training uh, between uh, the monastic and the monastery. And in these 3 months, no traveling, no running away, no excuses. It's like, because this is our rules, right? We can't go anywhere. We have to stay at one place. I can't say, okay, I have to go somewhere. I will be back and I will teach you. No, it's not like that. It's like everything, it's like you are under the boundary. So it's like we only have 7 days to go out, but still come back. It's also, if we are going for, again, there's some rules why when you can leave your Vasa boundaries. So yeah, it feels like we are the students, sorry, we are the trainees who are learning, and it's like our lay people are our parents who are taking care and visiting us to make sure that we are okay or not. So whenever in India, it's like all the monastic, they call the people who offer us food, we call them father and mother. We don't call them by their name. This is like Indian culture again. uh, it's like if someone is offering me food, I will call I. It in India, it's like I means mother and Baba means father. So it's like we call I and Baba. We don't say their name. So I feel like in this 3 months period, who will come to us and offer us the food and whatever is important for our lives, I feel they are our parents. And because they're coming and making sure whatever we have. So here also every week we are having people coming to us, visiting us, giving us groceries and the food. So I feel like they are our parents. If they're not coming to us and they're not making sure if we have the things that we need, what we will do without them. So yeah, I feel like our supporters are like our parents who are taking care of us during this period to make sure that we are okay. uh, if you see, like, this is the commitment from both sides, not only one side. We said, okay, we will practice, and we will sincerely practice and preach the Dhamma. Whatever we by the practice, whatever we will receive, we will give it to you. And also the sincere commitment from the lay people, like, okay, during this 3 months of period, we will support you as much as we can. And I think that's a really beautiful bond between the monastic and the lay people. So when we keep the Vasa with sincerely, and the monk practice, and the people support, the benefits are really vast. The Buddha said, blessings come not from luck or chance, but from causes. Vasa is one of that causes. So let us all make this Vasa a time of planting blessings for monastics, blessings of wisdom and discipline, and for the lay people, blessings of generosity and faith. May these 3 months may these 3 months to be true season of peace for all. And I hope every one of you try to practice this 3 months with sincerity and with determination. I think in the starting of the Vassa, we all made a determination mention that this is okay. Adhitana, all made the Adhitana like, okay, for this Vassa, this is my Adhitana, I will do that. And for me, I made a Adhitana like, for this Vassa, I want to practice meditation and want to read as much as Sutta I can and want to observe, is it balancing what I'm reading and whatever I'm practicing. But before, because I say like we are living with the community, sometimes it's really hard to have a patience because we are coming from the different traditions, and in that different tradition it's really hard to follow and hard to understand. And it's good, it's not bad, like it's really important to see what is arising inside you, and when you can see it, definitely you can improve it. And it's always good to learn from many people, as many people we can, right? So yeah, that's why I say like Vasa is a season of blessings and practice. For monastic it's a practice, and for the lay people it's a blessings because they're supporting for the monastic, uh, where we are like in the boundary, we can't go anywhere, and the whole lay people, they just come, just show up as our parents to take care of us. And if you don't take care of us as a child, so I don't think we can practice, focus on practice, because if we don't have food, I don't think we have that energy to practice and study. So I think it's really beneficial for both of us, and I hope all of us can uh, follow, practice Vasa, not this Vasa, but every Vasa. And may this Vasa be beneficial for all of you and all the living beings. Sadhu, sadhu. Oh, this. Mm, yes, anyone have any question? Oh, okay. Richard?
Right.
Yes.
Thank you. I heard you mention several times about Indian traditions. So I know there aren't many Buddhists left in India, so I was just wondering where, what area of India you were referring to.
So, mm, in India, there's many places where Buddha have went, and there's uh, many places where Buddha preached Dhamma, where he got enlightened. But where I'm living, in the center of India, it calls Maharashtra, and especially in the Nagpur, there's a huge amount of Buddhist people who lives in the Nagpur. So especially if you go in the Nagpur, there's in every area you will see there's a monastery. There's a small monastery, and especially in this Vassa time, you will see people invite the
What,
monk.
what, what is what is the name of that place again? You said in Maharashtra,
Nagpur. Nagpur.
Nagpur, like
Yes,
Naga?
yes, Naga.
Okay. And what is that community from? Is that a long-term community or is that a Buddhist revival? I'm just curious.
It is Buddhist revival.
Okay, so is that connected with Ambedkar?
Yes, yes,
Uh,
yes.
okay, So is that one of the main? I'm just kind of, I have his book here. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
You can see it, Ambedkar's book,
Yeah.
The Buddha and His Dharma. So, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So I was just wondering if is that the main place where he was starting from? I'm
Uh,
just curious about him as an individual. So when I heard you saying that, I thought you were probably connected with that group, because I know other than that, there aren't that many Buddhists, in
yeah.
India. So I was just curious.
Yeah. It's in Nagpur. We call Diksha Bhumi. That's the place where in 1956 he gave he revived the Buddhism there with like 6 lakh people in India. So the huge community of Buddhists lives in the Nagpur.
Hmm. Okay. I was just thinking someday I might want to go and visit that area, but
Sure.
I'm getting old, so I don't know how much visiting I'm going to be doing in the near future. So, your health starts failing as you get older. So, but anyways, I was just always curious, since I had read, I haven't read the entire book, but I read some of it, and I just thought it was interesting. Some what he has there. So they do have bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, because I
Yes.
know he was dealing with the, what's known as the untouchables,
Yes.
whatever. And so I was just wondering. So how did they get the ordination?
It was like
Did
after
someone
he.
from some other line come and to do ordination, like from Sri Lanka or something? I'm just very curious about it, that's all.
Yes, there was like a group of Bante Chandramani. He was a really senior Bante from the Sri Lanka, and I think his whole group came to India to ordain. To
Uh, okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
If you want to add some additional information about it, that's fine. But if you want to go on to someone else's question, that's
Yes,
okay.
yes, Daniel.
Oh yeah. I wanted to ask about yeah, in the Vassa time, I understand that bhikkhus and bhikkhunis are relatively stable, right? They're not traveling all over. Is there? It sounds like there's also a practice of you staying in one another's locations or something like that, where people are kind of visiting from other countries or regions. Is that part of it, or is that just kind of how it's worked out here for us in Dhamma?
I mean, it depends. It
Hmm,
depends. I think it's not like particular, but it depends.
gotcha.
Yeah. Chintana, I saw you raise the hand, but
I did. I'm sitting here in the dark, so I'll just. I wanted to let both of you know that I took the 8 precepts from Vesak to Bella's birthday, so it was 2 months.
mm-hmm.
So maybe I can do 3 months next year. We'll see. But I just wanted to let you two know that. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Sadhu,
Okay.
sadhu. Yeah. So, as Richard asked the question, I would like to say some more things about that. Uh, so, as Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he revived the Buddhism in India. So it called the Ambedkarite community. If in the worldwide, they recognize it as a Ambedkarite or Dalit community. And if you go in India, so we can't say like we are like traditional Buddhist, because it's revived by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So I just don't want to go to all the deep things, but yes, now we have a really big group of bhikkhus and bhikkhunis in India, slowly growing up. And because now everyone is getting education and learning the Dhamma more and more, that's why they're coming uh, more up. So yes, now from India, bhikkhus are going to study in Thailand, going to study in Sri Lanka more Buddhism, because in India, there was like no particular place for the monastic to study and practice properly, because no university provides the proper teachings for that. Yeah. And as Daniel asked, it's like people can come from wherever they want to. It just depends whom they want to see. And now we have the technology, so we can hear the Dhamma from wherever we want. But I feel like when we see a person in person, so it have a different connection, you know. When we see when we listen Dhamma online, it it's still there. We feel something, but when we listen the Dhamma in person from that person, we can feel the energy. We can feel the connectivity, and it goes straight to our mind, our heart, and also our body can feel that, right? So it's just like um, when I hear think about this thing. So just like in Buddha's time, many people, when they listen the Dhamma, they just got in Sotapanna, Sakrodagami, Anagami, and Arhanta. So when we think like that, oh, why this happened, you know? So that is not just that life karma, but it is just previous life karma. And also Buddha have mentioned, like when we meet a person and we get a like instant connection with that person, it's not because you met that person there. No, it was like a previous relation that you have holding, and but you don't know. That's invisible connection is there, but you can feel it, you know. Sometimes it's okay, I just met this person, but like it feels like I know that person very long, you know. Even if there's a person whom I know for 5 years, but I'm not that much comfortable with that person. With the person I just met in 5 minutes, I'm comfortable more than that. So this is something like that, and I really feel that. Yeah, I don't know if any others feel the same. Is there any question? Yes, Richard.
Thank you, Aya. So I hope this isn't considered off topic, but getting back to Dr. I just want to say his name right, B.R. Ambedkar.
Ambedkar.
Now he had his own way of interpreting Buddhism, if you read his book.
Yeah.
But if his, let's call it legacy group that he kind of got going, has now imported Sri Lankans to give ordination. So, which I assume you must, are you in that line? Were you ordained in that line? What was your ordination line?
Of course I ordained that line, but
okay. I just wanted, so then you might be able to inform me. So are you following Dr. Ambedkar's view of Buddhism, or are you now following the Sri Lankan traditional, view with the commentaries, and things like that? I'm just very curious. I'm not being critical. I have my own views and my own way of studying the Dharma. So I'm just, because sometimes people feel like, in reality, in Buddhism, everything is open to discussion according to the Buddha. Okay. So as long as you don't have a total apostate view, the 62 wrong views of self, eternalism and nihilism like that and stuff like that, as long as you're not trying to uphold one of those views, you should be able to discuss the philosophy. So, but sometimes in certain lines and things like that, people are very attached. Bhikkhu Bodhi, I heard him I've heard his lectures many times, and in one of his lectures on the Majjhima Nikaya, he was saying how he didn't quite accept a certain view from the commentaries, and then he says, "But shh, don't tell anybody. If it gets back to Sri Lanka, or if I try to, because he's ordained in Sri Lanka, he says, I'll come to the immigration, and they'll look and see it's me, and they'll go, visa denied, and send me back." Because Buddha Vachana, it's perfect. There's some people who think that every word of the sutta, every word of the commentaries, etc., and Buddha Gosha's work and stuff like that, it's all perfect. Okay, so I'm just wondering, how do you come down on that? Because you're kind of in two lines at the same time, or have you rejected Dr. Ambedkar's views and taken fully to the Sri Lankan views? Anyway, I know it's kind of a strange question, but it just interests me. Anyway, thank you.
It's not a strange question at all. It's really common question, and I'm not denying anyone's view. It's not Dr. Ambedkar's view, or it's not about Sri Lankan views. It's just about how I'm learning and what I want to learn. At his point of view, he's correct. In Sri Lankan's point of view, they are correct. So it's like Buddha said, don't have to follow it because I'm saying. You don't have to do it because I'm saying it, right? You just read it, and if you feel like it is correct, you just follow it, right? You don't have to do it because I'm saying it. So I'm not saying I'm completely denying Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, because he had his own points and his own thoughts that he gone through. That's why he feel like, okay, Buddhism should be applied like that. And if you go into deep, you will understand why he wrote the Buddha and his Dhamma like that, according to Indian culture. So when you read it, you will understand, okay, why it worked like that. Then again, if you see the Sri Lankan tradition, it's according to Sri Lankan tradition, what their culture is. So the Buddhism reflects in their culture. So for me, I'm not following anyone's view, not Dr. B. Ambedkar's view completely, not Sri Lankan views completely. I'm learning also Sri Lankan traditions, or not, the Thai traditions, so not completely Thai view. Now with me, there's a Cambodian bhikkhunis. I'm seeing and learning their viewpoint of view also, but I'm not accepting whole view. It's just like there's some pieces that I can learn from everything, and I'm just saying that how I can connect all together and how I can just grow more. It's just not like I'm completely accepting one point of view. It's like when Buddha left his house and he went to 8 teachers to learn, and he took something from each of them. It's not like he accept everything from one teacher. He just went from everyone, and he didn't say that they are wrong, this is not correct, and you should know that. He just accept whatever he feel like, okay, this is correct. And in my point of view, I feel the same. No one is wrong. It's just their experience and their life, their struggle is different. That's why their point of view of seeing the Dhamma is different. So if you tell me my point of view is completely different than you, if you ask someone else, their point of view is completely different, because their experience is completely different in Dhamma. So we never know who's correct or who's not, but it's just like how you practice and how you want to follow it. Just that. I don't know if it's helpful or not.
Yeah, I'm just curious because honestly, my view is that the way, setting aside other types of Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism of various groups, and the what do they call it, the tantric Vajrayana Buddhism, setting those aside, which are obviously even well known historically, much later developments. Okay, and I came from those that side, studying the Mahayana suttas, practicing Zen, stuff like that. But eventually, I started reading the Theravadan suttas because I wanted to find out what was the root. Where did this all come from? Because I knew enough about the history to know that those were kind of came later. So I said, can I find the closest thing to the Buddha's teaching? And so I started studying the suttas, and they resonated with me, even though my previous studies had resonated with me also, but it was like a deeper resonation. My mind went deeper. So, but the way that even what we call today Theravadan Buddhism, Theravadan Buddhism is about 3 groups removed, from Buddha himself, and then it's split into 2 groups, and then another. And so finally, I can't remember which one it is. Theravadins eventually came out, of another group, and this was several hundred years after the Buddha. But with time, these other, what you call original Buddhist groups, disappeared. They either morphed into Mahayana groups, most likely, or they just disappeared completely. So that basically we only have left Theravadan, which was able to survive because of Sri Lanka's isolation. All of Sri Lanka basically became Buddhist to a certain extent, although there were some wars and some kings took over and tried to reintroduce Hinduism and things like that. But it managed to survive, and then was spread from there and revived in Myanmar and Thailand and other places. But the way things are being understood and translated, some of them are, in my opinion, are being not translated correctly, and therefore it's a little misleading, and it makes it very hard for people to become like a Sotapan, or become, a once returner, a no returner, an arahant, because what they're getting taught is sort of adding layers of complication, when Buddha's teaching is actually very, very simple, and you should be able to grasp it very simply. And that's why I always like to say to people, in less than a year, Buddha had 1,300 arahants and over 110,000 sotapans and whatever in between. Okay, and just in less than a year. All right, this is how clear his teaching was, and it wasn't just him who was converting people to arahant and everything. Mahamoggallana, Sariputta, his own disciples converted Sariputta to being a Sotapan. So it wasn't just that, because some people think, oh, the power of the Buddha or something, he has a special magic, and because he's there talking to you, it's going to like envelop your mind or something like that. Buddha never says any such thing. It's by understanding the teaching, you penetrate. So because of these misideas, like a simple idea is like the word dukkha. Okay, so dukkha by various scholars and monastics is being translated as the main one we hear is suffering. All right, but there are others who say things like stress. There's others who say it's like, I don't think it's dissatisfaction, but it's like that. I think of it, but there's several different ways that scholars in studying the suttas have come up and said, well, I don't think it's quite suffering. It's, it's more like this, or it's more like that. So when people can't even come to an agreement on one of the most fundamental points of the Buddha's teaching, right? Like, how should we look at this? How can you expect people to understand it and grasp it easily? So, like, my personal opinion, after studying a lot of these scholars and things, and looking at myself, at one point I was toying with the word distress, because I didn't like stress, because some stress is good, like exercise. That's stressful, right? But it's good for you. You know what I mean? So I thought that was a little misleading. But distress means bad stress, okay? But ultimately, I came to the point where I could see, okay, there's dukkha, there's sukha, and there's vipaka. And those 3 things are all interrelated. So one time I just had stumbled on some bhikkhus, I don't remember who it is or anything, because it was just like a quick thing, and I just caught my attention, and I didn't keep track of it, but where he said, Ka and Kha are basically the same thing in Pali, okay? They actually have a meaning within themselves. And then when I read that, because I was thinking about this problem of sukha and dukkha, what do they really mean? It suddenly hit me because I know du means bad and su means good, right? So ka, and then you have ki pa ka, right? Ka, the final result of something. So it hit me. Bad result, good result. Dukkha, bad result. Sukha, good result. Vipaka, V meaning final or complete. Pa going towards ka, the result. Now the vipaka is Ka, the other two are Kha. So there seems to be a difference, but the Ka is sort of like a strong final thing. The H softens it a little bit. So that's why you can reach dukkha, but then, okay, so now but then it can morph into something else. Whereas the end of a karma, vipaka, is really the end. You know, that's done with. It's like when you die in this life, that's the end of this life's karma, right? This birth came to a final end. Anyways, I don't want to speak so much, but I kind of have this vision that because the bhikkhunis are treated as outsiders, and maybe these Dr. Ambakar's group, you know, the Dalits, you know, considered untouchables and everything like that, right? That maybe it would be good to try to revive the Buddha's original teaching and not just go along with what other people are saying and stuff. Try to really get in and look at the Pali and determine what it was Buddha was saying. And I think if that's done, you can see that there's a lot of simple stuff in there. Okay, so you know, so that's why birth is a bad result, because if you take birth, then you have to have old age, disease, and death. You see what I mean? So disease is a bad result, right? But you may get healthy again, right? Old age is a bad, and eventually leads up death. That's a bad result. You know what I mean? So you can see that, right? But by saying suffering, like the Western world, a lot of people interpreted Buddhism as saying everything is suffering. The Buddha didn't say that, but he said the result. That's why I came with this idea. The trouble is the result, the ultimate result of getting involved in the five khandhas is you're going to end up in a suffering thing, a dukkha, a bad result. But so, you know, I would like to see a modernization, you might say, of Buddhism in the sense of going back to his original teaching, moving aside a lot of mythology. I mean, mythology is entertaining. It's nice. You know, it's like modern people want to go see Star Wars or something. They're not true stories. You know, they want to go and see. But a lot of that clouds people's ability to see the Dharma because it adds layers of complication that shouldn't really be there. But anyways, I probably spoke too long, but maybe what I'm saying will it's like a seed I'm planting in your mind. You know, maybe the seed will get planted in your mind and will grow, and you'll be like a Bodhi tree or something. Anyways, thank you very much for indulging me in listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. I mean, whatever you said, it's true, and it's just you can say it's a starting for the Indian people, especially the people who doesn't know about the Dhamma at all. The book Buddha and his Dhamma, just for me, it's like a brief introduction. What is the Buddha? What he taught, and what you call the Sangha. So I think the Buddha and his Dhamma is like an introduction for the Triple Gem, right? So at least when people read that, they have the idea why Buddha is different than other people, and why the Buddhist religion is different from the other religion, you know. And it's not completely, it's like you can't learn anything from that. It's like from the kindergarten kids, it's good. That book is like for the person who doesn't know anything about Buddhism. They can read that book and they will have some idea. And after that, maybe if they find that this is interesting, they can learn more. Like I did. I didn't know anything about Dhamma before, but when I learned the book, I studied the book, and I come to know about the Triple Gem, like what is the Buddha, what he taught, and what the Sangha really means, right? So then I start to study, and that how develop my interest. And like you say, the planting the seeds. Yeah. So you will never know if you turn into Bodhi tree. Yeah, you can be. But it should come from the heart. And when it comes from the heart, the faith comes from the heart. You can be anything. You can be Bodhisattva also. It just, you need that sincerity in the practice, in yourself, the confidence that you need, right? So yeah, that's why I just wanted to share this Vassa thing, like why it's important for the monastic and especially for the Buddhist people, and why we give so much importance to this 3 months of Vassa. But this is funny, like here it's a summertime, not rainy season, but still we are doing the Vassa. In India, it's like a rainy season. So it is how it is. But still it's beneficial for all the living beings and for all the human beings, because we are practicing, learning, and reading and practicing the Dhamma. And I hope this Vassa will be fruitful for all the human beings. May all you will be free from all the sufferings. May all your wishes come true. May all be happy, healthy, and walk on the Dhamma, walk on the path of the Dhamma, and be liberated in this very life. May all be attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now we'll pay our respects to Tripujam and end our discussion here. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Swakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. Thank you, everyone. I just wanted to add something. In this Vassa, every week we are having a Sunday Sutta discussion, and Tuesday also we are having Dhamma discussion. If is there anything anyone like to listen or want to learn or want to practice, you can just put a comment, like you can just give any idea, like this is you want to learn or you want to listen. So maybe we will try to teach that what you want to particularly learn, not what we want to teach you. So yes, thank you everyone. Have a good night. Namo Buddhaya.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.